It's a beautiful day here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Thought I'd follow up our intro video with a follow-up very specific to preparation for your upcoming trip. So just to give you an update, we have people in Uganda currently working on their content so they can deliver some meaningful insights to you with respect to Uganda. So hang tight, that's coming soon. In the meantime, I thought I would spend a little bit of time kind of giving you my perspective on what to do to prepare for your trip, right? So I just got back 2 weeks ago. I spent basically 3 months in Ghana, Kenya, and Uganda, okay? And I'm preparing another trip in August. So I thought I'd take you through what I do to prepare. It's May right now. It's not too early to start getting the ball rolling for your upcoming trip, believe it or not. The first thing you want to do is pick a destination. Hopefully you have that in mind, and a time, right? Hopefully you have that kind of, in a ballpark, right? So once you have those two things figured out, obviously you need to start looking for flights, right? I assume you're not going to swim across the water, so you're probably going to have to book some airfare, possibly, or a slow boat, whatever mode of transportation you choose. I prefer to fly. What I use a couple things, right? As I mentioned before, I'm in the travel business, so I have a few insights, certainly share them with you. I think the best place to start looking for good deals on airfare is Google Flights. If you're interested, put a comment below and I'll do a separate tutorial. There's tons of tutorials, by the way, on YouTube on Google Flights specifically, right? So you can look for those, search for those, and that'll give you more information than you ever want to know. But that's a great resource to find the best flight. Once you have, and I would recommend, maybe put a search, price alert, but I would book that as quickly as possible. As you get closer to your departure date, prices are just going to go up. Right now, it's a good time to get good deals on flights. Okay, so you got your flights out of the way. Next thing to do is work on your visas. If you're an American, you're going to have a visa to most countries in Africa, if not all. Ghana definitely requires a visa. Kenya requires a visa. Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania, all the places I've been to, they all require visas. Now, when it's very easy to find a service, I happen to use a company called Travel Document Systems. They are great. I've been working with them for over 10 plus years now. Fantastic, very easy process. Basically, you fill out the application, you pay the processing fee and the counselor fee, stuff your passport and a couple extra passport photos in an envelope, shoot it off to them. They actually take it to the embassy of the country you're going to, get your visa stamped and documented, put it in your passport and send it back to you. Easy peasy. So, and a point of note, if you happen to be going to, say, Kenya, or that area, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, you may want to consider something called an East African visa. It's great. I did that this last trip. Basically what it is, it's one visa for all 3 countries. So once you get that visa, you can travel freely between those 3 countries. Pretty good deal, actually. It saves you some money. And I took full advantage of that, by the way. So get your visa. I will put links to Travel Document Systems, the company I use. There are others out there, iVisa, and there's just a ton. You can search for others if you choose, but I'll definitely put the link to travel document systems down below. The next thing you want to do is understand the entry requirements for the country that you are going. With respect to immunizations and medicines, right? East Africa, West Africa, most of those countries are going to require yellow fever shot, right? Fortunately, the new vaccine that they have for yellow fever is lifetime. So one shot, you're good for life. Most countries require a yellow fever card to be attached to your passport before they'll allow you entry, okay? I use a company called Passport Health. Again, I've been working with them for many, many years. They're great. Basically, they're all over the country. There are other services, I'm sure, but that's the one I happen to use. Again, I'll put a link down below. You set up an appointment. It's a consultation, if you will, and just, between you and me, the consultation is really a sales pitch. Got to tell you that. But they're going to give you a nice little pamphlet, tell you all about the country that you're going, right? You're going to get your vaccination for yellow fever if you need one. And then they'll tell you, you may want to take, all these other shots. I haven't, okay? And they will, they'll give you that, you're really a brave man or brave woman. But yellow fever is required. I'll take yellow fever. The other medicine that I highly, strongly recommend is malaria. A lot of those countries have malaria, and you do not want to get malaria. So again, Passport Health can write you a prescription for malaria. And it's oral, so that's a good thing. But you have to be consistent with that, right? You start the protocol a couple, 3 days before you leave, and every day that you're in country, and then I think it's 5 days or so after you return. So it keeps that in your system. That's highly recommended. And I will also give you some other things as we get closer to, country specific, what to take with you as far as medicine goes. Highly recommend Imodium, something for your stomach. Alka-Seltzer in the tablets is great. The little BC headache powder, fantastic to take. And another item that I really recommend that I hadn't thought about is Visine, something for your eyes. Africa and West Africa, East Africa is pretty dry. Obviously most of the season, unless you're in the rainy season. And there is just dust in the air, particles in the air from burning trash to they don't have many paved streets. So there's a lot of dust floating around, and it will irritate your eyes. So highly recommend Visine. Or something for your eyes, right? Saline, it works as well. So those are kind of the things that you need to start working on right away to get yourself set up for travel, right? And I guess the other elephant in the room these days is he starts with a C and ends with a D, you know what I mean? COVID has made travel, let's say, challenging, right? Each country, US included, has their own restrictions when it comes to COVID. I'll give you an example. If I'm going, say, to Kenya, okay? Kenya requires you to have proof of a negative PCR, and it's got to be PCR. It can't be the rapid test. It's got to be PCR. 96 hours before arrival. Okay, so you have to have in your hand the document that says you've taken and passed the PCR test before they'll allow you on the airplane going to Kenya. okay? And you've got 96 hours from the time that the test was administered to the time you land in Nairobi. Uganda is 120 hours. So it changes country to country. Ghana is an interesting situation. Not only do you have to have, I think it's 120 hours also for Ghana. However, not only do you have to have that before you board the aircraft to Accra, that's usually where you'll fly into, but once you get to the airport, they make you take yet another test and wait for the results to come back. And it's usually maybe an hour, maybe less, to get the results before they'll allow you to go through immigration customs, okay, and then out into into the freedom. So that's unique, and it costs. By the way, you have to pay for this. At your, it was $150. They've just lowered it to $50. But again, it's another $150 or $50, whatever the cost is now, for yet another test. All right, so we'll get more into specifics as we talk about the country that we're going to be highlighting, during each series, right? But COVID is a challenge, and I have to tell you, just as an aside, the time I spent in Africa, like I said, I went to Ghana, Kenya, and Uganda, right? All the countries, all the people are very, I think, diligent, let's say, about the COVID and their response, right? So anytime you enter any place, whether it's a restaurant or a hotel or a grocery store, they take your temperature and make you sanitize your hands, okay? And wear a mask. Depending upon where you are, the mask rules are a little lax. Do they practice social distancing? No, they don't. But I think generally speaking, the people in these countries are aware and they're doing their best, right? So again, just be aware that exists over there as it does here in the U.S., right? So those are kind of the high-level things that you should first embark upon to get yourself prepared for travel. Get your dates and destination figured out. Get your flights figured out. Get your immunizations if required, and any other ancillary prescriptions you may need that you can't get from your normal doctor, your physician. And by the way, if you do have some sort of pre-existing condition, I would just check with your family doctor. Hey, this is where I'm going. Do I have any issues? Right? And they'll let you know what their thoughts are. But like I said, if you've got malaria and you've got yellow fever, if required, you're set to go. The one thing I will tell you across the board, you don't want to drink water out of the tap. You only want to drink bottled water. As a matter of fact, you don't really want to eat anything that has been rinsed in water, because they're using the local water. Their standards, their health standards are not necessarily as maybe stringent as ours in the U.S. are. And plus, if you may have a sensitive stomach anyway, right? Going to a different state, a different water, you may just, get a little queasy. So just elevate that by, tenfold. So you can eat fruit that has a peel to it, an outer layer, where if you peel an orange, you can eat the orange, right? You peel a banana, you can eat the banana. But you don't want to eat, say, grapes that have been washed in their water, unless you wash it with your own bottled water. As a matter of fact, I still, to this day, brush my teeth with bottled water, and I've been going over there for, 10 plus years. I don't eat salad over there because of that. Now, I must tell you that I probably have been a bit more lax over the last several years or several trips, because I think maybe my body has built up some sort of immune system. So, you know, I will eat an occasional grape or something, or a salad even, right? But I tend to stay away from that if at all possible. You know, that leads to another thing. While you're over there, you're going to have a funky diet. You know, you're not going to have Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Burger King, whatever. So your diet's going to change. So make sure that you have some sort of stomach settling medicine with you. And I recommend vitamins too, certainly vitamin C. We all need our vitamin C. And you may not get the nutrients that your body's used to out there. So maybe a multivitamin would be a good thing to bring along. So those are some, you know, tips that I can tell you about, just that kind of span any country that you may go to over there. And like I said, we'll get into more detail, country-specific detail, as we start diving into each country. So like I said, our first country that we're going to highlight is Uganda. So that's coming in the next couple episodes. We should have all the content ready to go. We're going to start with Uganda. A couple people that I know very well are working diligently to put their material together. I'm looking forward to see what they have to say and help us with some language specific to their culture. And then some, you know, we're going to take some tours of Kampala in Uganda. We're going to take some tours of Jinja, which is, you know, near Lake Victoria. It is Lake Victoria, basically. It's the source of the Nile. And we'll take you around the country, right? And so you can kind of see what to expect when you're there. So again, if you like what you've heard today, you know, hit that thumbs up button and hit subscribe so you'll know when we post another video. With that, we'll talk to you soon. Take care.